Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna kind of give you another talking head video here, I guess. Sorry, I'm trying to actually get some drawing done, but I've been really busy in the tattoo shop. I've been really busy in personal life. I've been really busy with other things where I haven't had much of a chance to sit down here with you guys and draw, but next week I'll make sure we got a drawing video, I promise. But what I want to do today is we're going to give you, like I said, a little bit of a talking head here. And we're going to talk about my favorite subject, art. And I want to talk about what nobody ever really tells you about art. And it's not in the, you're going to find some schools, some tutorials, some books, but a lot of this is stuff you have to actually suffer, and it's trial and error. So I'm going to help you with some of that trial and error. You kind of have to just learn it. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this stuff out for you. And the cold truth is your work's going to suck. I know mine does. And a lot of times it's going to suck a lot. You're going to think you're horrible. You're going to think you're getting better. And, maybe you are. I hope you are. But then you're going to start seeing new things that kind of suck. And you're going to be like, man, I thought I was getting better. I thought I was improving. But you're finding new ways your art's sucking. So, yeah, you are improving. That's actually growing. It it's sucking with nuance. It's a good way to put it, right? I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, I you know, but I find a lot of stuff where I'll see if I can find an old drawing and paste it up here, but every time I draw something, I'm like, man, that's the best thing I've done. Especially if it sees the light of day. Of course, I'm going to, push it as hard as I can. I want you guys to see my best work. But what's real funny is whenever I see my best work years down the line, oof, I just start looking at it and it gets worse and worse. And it just makes me want to try to figure out the problems that it's where I've figured out those problems. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm going to get all kinds of tongue-tied here, guys. I have a little bit of a script down here, but if I don't have that stuff, I'm a chaotic mess. I think you guys have seen some of the earlier videos. You understand. But you're going to realize that you're improving, and progress 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 doesn't ever really feel like progress. It doesn't. You don't realize how invisible improvement can be. It's not like a video game. There's not a little bell or a light, or you don't get a big full screen thing showing you've leveled up. Sometimes what that means, sometimes that invisible progress is literally you realized you're not making that same mistake, and you don't realize you're making that. You've stopped making the mistake. You just stop making the mistake. But yeah, that mistake can be made over and over again without you realizing it, until you stop making it, and then it's like, holy crap, I quit making that mistake a while back. Then you start doing the patting yourself on the back, thinking you're cool, all of that, until you realize you find a new mistake that you need to fix. And then, hey, guess what? That's when you start developing that style. And the thing is style isn't ever really something you're looking for. It's not something you find. It finds you. And, you know, everybody wants to find their style. I hear that all the time. What's my style? What am I doing that makes me different and stand out and all of that? And honestly, if you're just making art, you're already standing out, because your art is not going to be the same as even your best friend's art. If you guys are sitting there drawing together all the time, there's going to be nuances that he does that you don't do. Because even though you guys might be looking at the same stuff, which is a lot of how your style kind of gets formed, is you're finding a guy that makes the same mistakes you dig. I, 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 I don't really know if that's the best way to describe it, but it works for me, I think, right now. Sorry, I'm getting myself comfy again. Your style is gonna be hidden under a lot of that borrowed shit from other artists. It's what happens when you keep repeating things. It's what happens when, again, you keep making the same mistakes over and over again. Eventually, you're going to find that style. And that's when things start to get really cool, because then you're like, man, you're drawing this eye really weird, but you're like, man, kind of like it. So guess this is how I'm going to start drawing eyes. I guess this is how I'm going to start drawing dogs or cats or airplanes or whatever the hell you feel like drawing. You're going to find ways to solve problems that work best for you in here, that are pleasing to your eye. And that's where hopefully things are pleasing enough to your eye and they're pleasing enough to other people's eyes. And that's where things get fun. You know, I don't know how often I'll find a weird way, like when I started drawing faces, I started finding weird little ways that were like other artists. Don't get me wrong. We all kind of take from each other, but I found stuff that works for me. So like, I'm going to pluck a little thing from this artist. I'm going to take a little thing from this artist. I'm going to take a thing from this artist. But then I have to put it into some weird mental gumbo to make it work on the page for me. And that's where style really happens, is it's a lot of, well, being a little magpie or a crow coming in and pecking the shiny things that you like and then putting it into your art. And part of that comes also down to the idea that art's not magic. Your style isn't found, it's a collection of your mistakes. Same with art being the process of art. It's not magic. It's not some kind of inherent inborn talent that only you possess and all of that. Art's work. It's a lot of work. If you strip down all of the pretentious bullshit that you hear artists talk about, this is a blue-collar skill in the fact that it's manual labor. Now, granted, a lot of times you're getting blue-collar wages as an artist, but it is manual labor. Nothing happens through inspiration. It can, don't get me wrong. But if you want to be an artist and you want to make money as an artist, you have to work. Everything is work. Everything goes back to work. They call it artwork for a reason. It's not art play. A lot of the drawing is drawing shit you don't want to draw. It's drawing shit that's boring. Yeah, I'm swiveling. Sorry, ADHD has kicked in. I'm kind of a little antsy. It's also late. It's also Thursday night, and I wanted to post this Friday for you guys. So, yeah. I'm sorry. That's all I can say. But it comes down to, you got to put the work in. You got to do all that fundamental. You got to learn how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb before you can get to Stairway to Heaven. So you have to keep putting the work in. You have to keep repeating. You have to keep the rubber on the road. Because the only way you can progress is to keep going forward. A lot of the sucky phase of art is where a lot of artists quit. That's where a lot of you guys probably sat for years going, man, my art just really sucks. Man, I try to draw and I can't draw a straight line without a ruler. Well, guess what? I can draw a straight line without a ruler, and I don't want to. I'd rather use the ruler. I'm going to get a straighter line. But honestly, I like doing the clean, expressive lines anyway, so why do I need a ruler? God, that was a really dumb tangent. I'm sorry. Or should I be sorry? I don't know. But it was a really dumb tangent. But what I'm getting to is you're going to draw a lot of stuff that doesn't look good. You're going to draw a lot of stuff that's basic. It's going to be fundamentals. You're going to work on your fundamentals just so you can get better at the slick stuff. That stuff's going to be boring. You're going to see a lot of people going, well, why are you drawing that shit? Because I want to be better at drawing the other shit. Yeah. Get that repetition down. That's what you really need to do. And honestly, a lot of the fun stuff comes after all the boring stuff. You're going to find a lot of people trying to hawk art programs where learn to draw anime in 10 days. Well, yeah, they're going to teach you the style. They're going to teach you basic construction, but they're not going to tell you to practice the fundamentals. They're not going to tell you to practice any of that stuff because, let's be honest, it doesn't get clicks. And are they instructing you or are they creating content at this point? I'd much rather instruct you. If you don't want content, stick around. We might get better at this. Hopefully I'll get better at editing. But I'm sorry. I am a little stuffy today. I'm a little coffee. That's probably why I haven't drawn much, but it's okay. I'm still drawing. Because I'm still tattooing. And that's something else. I tattoo for a living. I'm drawing constantly for clients. I'm drawing constantly for hopefully attracting more clients by drawing stuff I want to tattoo. Which means I've got to draw pretty much every day if I want to keep on top of it. I don't do a lot of copy-paste tattoos. I'm not a photocopier. I'm a tattooer. So I'm going to draw a lot of what I do. And because of that, I've got a lot of deadlines. I don't get a lot of excuses. I've just got to grind. And if anything, I can impart that on you guys. It's about that grind. And I'm not talking the Sigma grind set bullshit. Just grinding away at art. Getting your art better. I like using working out as an analogy. In fact, all of this stuff, it could be workout instructions, it could be fitness instructions, it could be skill instructions for anything. Because again, it comes back to art is a skill. Art is not talent. But it's frustrating. It's slow. It's messy. It'll keep you humble. And it'll keep you humble on the daily. But what's fun about it is if you stick through all of that, you're going to find those little moments where that little light bulb goes off, something clicks. And man, I won't lie, those moments are worth everything, guys. I can't express enough how much I love that. That's what keeps me in art. But anyways, guys, I'm going to probably start to wrap this up. So if you like anything, if this clicks with you for some reason, hit the button, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, do all of that. If not, cool. I'll see y'all next week. Get out there, make the bad art, kids. Make the bad art. And embrace that suck. And until next weekend, try to be nice to somebody. Doesn't matter who, just anybody. All right, guys. Bye.